Well,
current time, it's,
I guess it depends on what page you look on.
oh, awesome.
They are rated for 248.
Okay, 248 is the rating apparently in the CCGs.
I don't know why they have different ranges on the pages, but
Yeah. Yeah, I thought with this new catalog, I thought everything was supposed to be around 250.
yeah, they're all 248. Unless you look at the beginning.
Yeah, we won't go to the beginning. V-ball control valves. This one wasn't one of the ones listed in the name that valve, but this one's available in two-way configuration, sizes from 1 to 6 inch. Let's see the ones that are screwed versus flanged. Water side control of air handling systems again. Water and steam control. Really the nice feature about these are good for some high pressure steam applications. And I believe some of them are rated for 150 psi steam and even more. Selection and installation, and this really goes for all of our valves. It can be mounted horizontally or vertically for water applications. As I mentioned earlier, we just don't want the actuator mounted below the valve body. For steam applications, vertically or horizontally, but if you're doing it on the horizontal, we suggest that you offset the actuator 45 degrees so you don't have the steam dissipation going up into the actuator.
I see what they did. It's they're rated for 248 from 1 up to 2 inch, and then 2.5 and 3 inch are only up to 212. Anything over 3 is back to 248 again. So,
Okay,
so
that's not at all confusing.
I know. So 2.5 and 3 inch are only rated for 212.
Okay. Okay. The majority are rated for 248. If you have a question, call.
Just call Brian.
Yeah. So the V-ball valves are rated for 100 psi pressure differential for steam, 150 differential for water. The 6-way valve. So with the 6-way valve, we have true close-off in the middle range of rotation. We can have 2 different CV capabilities. And as most of you probably know, typically a heating application is going to be a lower CV than a cooling application. That's why we have it set up this way. They do have a linear flow characteristic. They're available in 1/2 and 3/4 inch. I think the top CV is like 2.9 CV or something like that. So they're meant for smaller applications, as you can tell, 1/2 and 3/4 inch. Designed specifically for chilled beam and radiant sealing panels. Why did we develop this? Well, you can reduce your installation time by using the one valve for both heating and cooling. You only need one analog out rather than 2. And you're controlling both sequences that way. And it uses less space for your installation. So your application considerations, any 4-pipe systems for heating and cooling. Your medium temperature range is 43 to 122 degrees. And then it's chilled water, hot water, and a 60% glycol solutions capability. Zone valves. They're available in 2-way, 1/2 through 1 inch. Only valve in our product line that you can get as a sweat connection. So you can get it as either NPT, female ends, or a sweat. Typically used for fan coils, baseboard, other small hydronic applications where you need fail-safe 2-position control. This is another one of the valves that we only offer a 2-year warranty. Operation, like I said, it's a basic 2-position valve, small motor, spring return, designed to fit in compact areas. One thing I will mention, if you order a normally closed valve and really need it normally open, you just switch the actuator, because the actuator is what's deciding whether it's normally open or normally closed. There's no switches or anything on there that'll allow you to switch back and forth. So you want to make sure you get it right the first time. So the two modes of operation: drive open, fail closed, or drive closed, fail open. As I said, they're two positions. They're not suitable for proportional control, and they're not suitable for steam applications. You need steam for a small valve like this, that needs to be compact. The best thing we have is the high temp CCD. Butterfly valves. Size from 2 through 30 inch. Love to sell a few of those 30-inch valves. I wouldn't like to have to move them, but I'd like to sell them. I don't that I've ever seen one of our 30-inch valves. I know when I first started, we actually were making our butterfly valves or assembling them in a different factory than we do now. But when I was down there learning about them, they had a 24-inch there. And that is one massive valve, even at 24-inch. So connections are all flange connection. I take that back. We do have Victaulic connections now as well. We have a couple different types of butterfly valves. We have our resilient seated that have EPDM rubber linings, available in HD and HDU models. The U means that it has an undercut disc, lower close-off rating on those. You can see the HD model is a 200 PSI close-off for 2 to 12 inch, 150 for 14 to 30 inch, whereas the HDU models are all 50 PSI close-off. And really what that undercut model does, as you can see here, it requires less torque to break away from the seat, which can certainly be an issue. So if you really need the high close-off pressure, then you're going to want to go with HD models. Then we also have high-performance butterfly valves that are metal-to-metal seating. We don't have EPDM rubber seats. And they're available in ANSI 150 or ANSI 300 rated configurations, and they are good for steam as well. Applications: chiller isolation, cooling tower, changeover, large air handlers, bypass. I'd say probably the two I see the most are chiller and cooling tower isolation valves. And this is, I think, the third of the valves that we have that are 2-year. The rest are going to be 5-year. So the butterfly valve design, we talked about, there's the seating. This one's one of the standard with the rubber lining. You've got your big disc there. Butterfly valve is a rotary valve. So you're going to have a 90-degree rotation, quarter turn movement, 90 degrees. So it controls the flow of water as the valve is open or closed from the 0 to 90-degree point. We also have 3-way butterfly valve. Basically, a 3-way butterfly valve is taking 2 2-ways and putting it on a T. You can see here we have the 2 actuators linked together, controlling the discs on each side. And those discs are going to move opposite of each other. So if one's opening, the other will be closing. They can be used for either mixing or diverting applications. As I mentioned earlier, we started